Welcome to MULCH, the podcast for flower farmers who love growing beautiful things and want to build a business that lasts. I'm your host, Rebecca Anning-Brown from Silver Grey Foliage in Yorkshire, and every week we'll get real about what it takes to grow flowers for a living, from the planning and the planting to the mindset and the money. Whether you're just starting out or a few seasons in, you'll find honest conversations and practical ideas to help you to root your business in firm soil. Thank you for listening. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. It really will help more flower farmers to get on and grow. Let's dig in. Hello and welcome back to MULCH. How are you? I'm okay. I took a much needed break from the podcast last week because I was tired. I talk a lot about self-care and genuinely try to practice what I preach. So, time out, back this week, a bit fresher, and it feels good. We had hideous wind earlier in the week, but I'm grateful, really grateful, that we don't have any significant damage as a result. I really hope that you're okay, and that if you do have damage, you're being kind to yourself as you clear up the mess. There will be flowers, and it will be okay. This is a setback, and you will get through. This week is the last of the first quarter in 2026. Can you believe that we're already 3 months in? I say this not to cause panic. I say this in true wonder, because if you join me in that wonder, it feels to me like at varying points of the past 3 months, time has gone so slowly, like when it rained all day, every day in January. And also it feels like often it's gone really quickly, like the past 2 weeks when the weather's been mainly better. And there's just not enough time between all the jobs that we do as flower farmers to get all of the things that we want to do done. I've been quite strategic. I've needed to say to myself, those things just aren't going to get done right now. There's only one of me. It's an interesting and regular, repetitive lesson to avoid the overwhelm by being realistic and honest and aware of what's going on at the present time. So, in honesty, knowing that we can only ever do one thing at a time, it's really important to just keep that at the forefront of your mind. This week's episode of MULCH is about keeping your mind, your mindset, for the season, resilient and focused. It's not a long episode, it's one full of reminders that I have needed over the past week or so, and that I suspect some of you will need too. It's an episode that you can return to across the season when you can feel negative thoughts creeping in and affecting your ability to keep doing what you're already doing so well. Let's dig in. Number 1, you don't need every customer. You need enough customers. Stop chasing every possible outlet for your flowers and focus on the things that you do best in each part of the season. Number 2, visibility requires repetition. I appreciate that you'll have said who you are and what you do 1,000,000 trillion times over, but say it again and say it louder. I know that it feels boring. I know that it feels repetitive, and you think that people really should know. But for every potential customer who does know who you are, where your flowers are, where you're growing and who you sell to, I can bet your bottom dollar that there are 100 or more potential customers who have not a clue that you exist. And if we don't tell people, they won't know. Customers tend to look less hard now than they used to because everything's at our fingertips. So it's our job as flower farmers, as business owners, to keep telling people, to keep repeating the message. Who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? Number 3, Your customers need education about the quality of your flowers. This is one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion. The quality of the flowers and foliage that we grow in the UK is outstanding. It is correct that not everyone understands how to cut, and not everyone understands when to cut and how to condition. However, for the most part, what I see is incredible. The only way for your customers or potential customers to know this and be willing to pay for it is if you show them and tell them what you're offering. We, as flower farmers, have to be the best and most vocal ambassadors, advocates for what we do and what we offer. Number 4, the flower farmers that make the work look glamorous probably have more help behind the scenes than you'll ever see on Instagram. Or their priority, this is one of those areas where I might dig myself a little bit of trouble, but their priority might not be selling the flowers. This one is to remind you to stop giving yourself a hard time, especially if you're working more than one job and setting up a flower farm, and especially if you have thought already this season, how does such and such make it look so easy? Do the best that you can, and above all, make sure that the quality of what you grow makes it easy to talk about the most important thing, which is your end product, the flowers, foliage, bouquets, weddings, whatever it is that you sell with your flowers. Worry less about trying to keep up with the glamorous side of flower farming. Number 5, you can't be everything to everyone. You have to choose. I'm asked all the time about social media and about marketing. And to be fair, I'm not necessarily the expert on this, but I have done a number of courses to help me to improve. The one thing that I do know to be 100% true is that if you spend your time trying to be someone or something that you're not, you'll only make your own life harder as you grow your business. Be yourself. Get comfortable with showing people the parts of you that you are happy to share in public, and be consistent. It's easier to be consistent when you're honest and real. So, those are 5 things to bring yourself back when your thoughts start to spiral during the moment, and to stop that spiraling whirlwind of negative thoughts. You don't need to do everything. You don't need everyone to know you yet. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going with what you're building steadily, honestly, in a way that works for you. Because the reality is this: the flower farmers that last are not the ones that do everything. They're the ones that do the right things consistently over time. You're already doing more than you think you are. Have some confidence. I'll be back next week with another episode of Mulch, encouraging you, as ever, to get on and grow. Rebecca. Thank you for listening to Mulch today. Don't forget to subscribe and to share the podcast with your flower farming friends. I'll be back next week, helping you to firm your flower farming roots with real and practical flower farming insights and advice. Rebecca.